In the realm of legendary off-road cars and insane durability, one car comes to mind, and that's the Toyota Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser, which had a 6-year-old history of conquering mountains and deserts, bid farewell to the American market and has been discontinued for 3 years. However, Toyota recently announced the revival of this iconic SUV. Our question is, why now? So you probably know Toyota is famous for making durable cars and engines that just won't quit on you. But did you know the story of the Land Cruiser goes back to after World War II in 1951? Toyota wanted to make a name for themselves and be known as the durable brand they are known for today. During that time, another car dominated the market, the American Jeep. The rugged 4x4 that made a splash during the war and could handle tough terrains with ease. Then there was the British Land Rover, which was no less than the American Jeep, so the guys at Toyota thought, why not make something similar but in our own way, and they did manage to make their very first Land Cruiser, known as the Toyota BJ, and the people went nuts over it. Because of its insanely powerful engine, people started using it for different things like farming and construction. As time went by, Toyota started to make it fancier with a better interior and a lot more comfortable without compromising on power or durability, so it's no surprise it became a worldwide success, and people, especially travellers, couldn't wait to get a Land Cruiser because it simply had so much to offer. All this durability by Toyota was a great selling point, and it was impressive how this car would easily run for over 200,000 miles. But who knew that this would come back to bite? Since a car would last that long, why would anyone justify buying a new one instead? With an engine that comes with an insane kind of power, it's no surprise that it will want to consume fuel too. People didn't see the car as a viable option since it's only going to take them from point A to B, which any other car can do while consuming much less fuel, and most of that decision is derived because of the super high fuel prices recently. Then, one very powerful factor in the Land Cruiser sales going down was the lack of upgrades. We're constantly on the hunt for more, right? Nobody has ever said they want fewer features in their car. While the Land Cruiser might dominate in other areas, this is an area where it most definitely lagged. With so many new options available in the market these days, it became obvious that spending on a car with not so many options and features just wasn't worth it. As a counter, the LX570 came in, and the people realised that if they wanted an upgrade, they were better off with a Lexus instead, and that's what they did. This was a perfect fit for those who didn't want an imported Japanese car. If you do have the bank and want to go one step further, you can go for the LX600. Seeing all of these things, Toyota finally called it quits and discontinued the Land Cruiser in 2021, but has recently teased us about its return in 2024. 3 years later, Toyota announced that the Land Cruiser is coming back to the US. This time, the Land Cruiser is coming back with an all-new design. So we talked about how people stopped buying the Land Cruiser together. Well, one of the reasons was the world was moving towards smaller SUVs, and the Land Cruiser just seems too big. But Toyota realised this and came up with a new design that's smaller than the traditional Land Cruiser that people were a fan of. Apart from the size, Toyota has given this car a completely new look and looks absolutely nothing like the old one. Everything was reassessed and redesigned from the ground up, leading to a new retro design, kinda like the Suzuki Jimny. The new Land Cruiser now has a much sleeker, cleaner and leaner look. Then they swapped out the hydraulic power steering to electric, which means more comfort off-road with minimum kickback. For the first time, a Land Cruiser will come with a hybrid powertrain. Toyota seems to be focusing on fuel economy here without having to compromise on performance and durability. The new Land Cruiser is 8 cm shorter than its predecessors, but still has a roomy interior simply because of the wheelbase, which is now 6 cm longer than before. Since the wheelbase is usually what determines the space inside a car, we're not too worried. Now, we can't miss out on the dials when talking about the interior, so the new and improved Land Cruiser is said to have a digital display this time instead of the old analog display with physical controls next to the gear in the middle. Toyota also has an exciting offer for you. Toyota announced it's introducing the first edition models. This special model will come with completely different headlights, and what's different about them? Instead of the standard rectangular lights, you'll be getting the huge round lights that give it a vintage look that looks a lot like the Land Cruiser from back in 1984, and will be offered in two colour tones, sandy yellow and a light blue option for you to choose from. But if you want to get one of these, you might need to order one early, since Toyota is only making 3,000 of these. If you love to travel, then the Land Cruiser is the car for you. You can easily off-road on this beast, and it will take you through the tough terrain without breaking any parts or even taking any damage. This is thankfully due to its amazing suspensions that just smoothly glide over any kind of bumps and rocks while making sure you're comfortable in there, especially in the newer models. Toyota went all out when it came to comfort. You have premium leather seats and a touch panel that is smartphone integrated, and not to mention safety. You get adaptive cruise control, lane departure warnings and emergency braking to co-pilot the car when you get a little lazy on those very comfortable leather seats. And the main part of it all, it has got a really tough build. You can take this car anywhere, and we mean literally anywhere. So this tough build translated to reliability. This alone made this car a go-to choice for people because it's built simply to outlast. Some models of the Land Cruiser have been so successful that the car has long lived its production date and still roams around without any trouble, which led to it becoming a symbol of adventure. It represented gutsy exploration, resilience and connecting with the wild. Toyota then made its way into the United States, and while every other model came and went by, the Land Cruiser was the only car by Toyota that has been coming in continuously since 1958. The early models were known for their Spartan design and were used strictly for off-roading, but then it transitioned into a family car when people started looking towards the SUV category in the 90s. Toyota has not yet revealed when this new model will hit the market, but it's expected to be available somewhere around the end of 2023 or in early 2024. With all these new features, the Toyota Land Cruiser might actually dominate the SUV market once again. So what do you think about this new and improved Toyota Land Cruiser? Well, let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.